Hello, I'm Corporal Mark Ivey, and welcome to Partners in Public Safety. This show gives you an inside look at what your police, fire, and Office of Emergency Management are doing to keep you safe here in the city of Wilmington. Today we have a special guest, Alan Duffy Samuels. He's founder of a program called Duffy's Hope. It's a program that serves at-risk and hard-to-reach youth. Since 1998, they have reached over 4,500 children and helped change their lives. But first, in our special feature segment, did you know there are some simple adjustments you can make to your home or business to deter crime? We spoke with Officer William Ball, who's going to share some simple ideas that you can change in your home or business to make them safer. It's a concept called crime prevention through environmental design. Joining me now is Officer William Ball, a neighborhood specialist with our community policing unit. Officer Ball is what's called a CPTED assessor, and that stands for crime prevention through environmental design. Thanks for joining me, Bill.
Good morning, Mark.
So, what is crime prevention through environmental design?
The basic premise behind crime prevention through environmental design is structure analysis, interior and exterior, landscape analysis, and the easy term for that is looking around the outside of your house, your building, in reference to possible safety issues, lighting issues, entryway issues, anything to that effect.
So basically making your house safer by some simple changes that you can make to the exterior and interior. So as an assessor, your job is to go out to a house, to a building, to a business, and have a look and see what simple changes people can make, right?
That's exactly right.
So as an assessor, what's the first thing you're looking for when you come up to a house?
The first thing that I go through as an assessor is I look towards the entryway of a building, a home, anything to that effect. It's all the same. It's a great starting point. One of the main things that we like to see in an entryway is great lighting. As you see here, we have a light that's probably what they say approximate light distribution within 5 to 10 feet of the front door. That's fantastic. What it does is it shows if someone were to come to your home in the evening hours, you can look through your people, you have a great view of who that individual may be. Or at a business, for instance, as in this way, they can look through their door and see who's here in the late evening hours.
So I'm noticing this door right here is all glass. Is that what you're talking about? It's very easy for them to look out and see?
Correct. I am a big fan personally of the glass storm doors. I think that is a great way. It's still a good securable door. However, you have a phenomenal view of anything out in the front of your home.
So you're talking about a storm door, meaning you open your main wood door, steel door, whatever it is, and then outside that you have a full length.
I also like the ones, the doors themselves, the inner doors, the steel door, like you said, wood door, anything to that effect, that have some type of window within the door itself. They make some great ones that are phenomenally safe in reference to they'll have leaded glass in them or something to that effect, not easily breakable, that you could get through to a doorknob.
So you have all the advantages of being able to see without any of the disadvantages of someone being able to break it.
Exactly. Also, on the front, as in this business, they have a secured lock. This also has a camera inside. In your home, I'm a big fan of 2 locks. You always have one for the knob. Deadbolts, you can't beat them. So with this one, in reference to how they have it set up, not only can she see through the glass, but they made doubly sure you have to press the button in order to get through the glass, which is great.
Right there?
Exactly. It says, please ring the bell. That's a fantastic thing. So
for a business, you don't want people to just walk in and out. You want people to...
preferably not, regardless of what it is. In reference, this is a financial institution here. It's not that they have any money or anything to that effect. They're just protecting their employees.
But that obviously wouldn't apply to a convenience store where you expect people to come in and come
Exactly.
out.
However, if you notice in most of the convenience stores, they have that big glass windows or glass door as soon as you walk in.
All right, so what's the next thing you're looking at?
One of the other things is you leave your entryway, I look for blind spots, blind corners, landscape issues as far as some type of obstruction for your view as you're leaving your home, your business, anything to that effect.
All right, well, we have a blind corner over here. You want to show me
That's correct.
a little bit about what's going on there?
Mark, as you can see here, this is what we like to call a blind corner. Now, in your business, in your home, your garage, anything to that effect, one of the biggest things that we like to do is set this up in a manner that we physically can't change the structure, and obviously it's very important. We were talking earlier about why a blind corner is so bad. Reason being is, if I can have you take a step back for me, and you see myself, when I step here, you and I can't see each other, and we're literally an arm's length away. Unless you put your hand out, I can't see you. So come on back through if you would. One of the biggest things that you can do in your home, your office, or anything to that effect is we can cure this problem. Obviously, we're not going to break the structure down and change the corner itself. We can put lighting in. Two of the biggest stressors in crime prevention through environmental design is lighting and landscaping, regardless if it's a home, if it's a garage, or an office. So if we can take a walk around the corner, I'd like to show you what the importance is crime prevention for our landscape portion of this.
All right, let's do it.
Mark, as you can see here, we actually have a 2 for 2 on this one. As I discussed before, we're talking about blind corners and the importance of landscaping in crime prevention through environmental design.
Right.
As you can see, you're a little taller than I. We can't even see where that window ends or if there is a first floor window. One of the problems with this is obviously lighting does not get through. Mm-hmm. We can actually have multiple people hiding back there in a sense. So in your home, you have to be cognizant of how the landscaping kind of intertwines with this crime prevention through environmental design.
And that's all because of this plant right here, this giant bush.
100%.
And I'm sure they did it thinking maybe, people might think putting a giant plant somehow protects them or blocks their windows so no one can see in, but that's actually hurting you.
Exactly. However, there is some plants that you can get that will mature to this length. They're what we call more obtrusive landscaping. In a sense, it would have a thorny bush to it. It wouldn't be so dense as this, so you still have a good visual through your building, through to the corner, through to a window, or anything to that effect.
But if someone wants to crawl through it or behind it, it's going to hurt them.
Yeah, they're not going to want to do it.
Okay.
One of the big ones that they use, it's called pyracantha. It has about 1.5 inch long thorn on it, and I wouldn't want to climb behind there. So
this is as an example of what you should not do. Just
Correct.
to be very clear, this is bad.
Most definitely.
And next we have something that you should do.
If we can walk over to the corner here a little bit farther, we'll be able to look at something that would be most definitely much better than this corner.
Let's take a look.
Mark, as you can see, there's a great example here of what landscaping around your windows and around your homes would be as opposed to it was in the corner. As you can see, it's lower, it's below the window line itself. As we shot on the other corner over there, you can see it's the same size window, however, we're missing 4 feet of it. One of the other big things too is I'm going to get back to utilities. We talked about lighting. Here's a great example of what this business decided to do, and this is something you could do in your home as well, is they're protecting their utilities. It is a crime, obviously, if somebody comes out and turns your water on and lets it run while you're on vacation for 2 weeks or something to that effect. So crime prevention through environmental design it's a forward-thinking thing. It's not a rocket science, if you will. Anybody can do it. It's just taking that time to walk around your home, your business, and looking at things that just may not sit right. One of the other big things too we try to do with through crime prevention and environmental design is securing your property. If we could take a look around the next corner, I can give you an example of what we can do to secure your home and business.
All right, let's do it.
Mark, we're talking about securing your property. One of the ways, obviously it's very apparent, is to put a fence around your property, front, back, sides, whatever you feel led by the spirit to do, if you will. Here's an example of in a commercial atmosphere of truly making your business secure and a hard target, if you will. Well over 6 foot fence, it's metal. They have a phenomenal gate locking mechanism with a huge padlock on it. I don't know if we need to go that extreme in a residential setting. However, they're hitting all the high points. They have the fence properly installed. It's secured very well at the base. It has a fantastic locking mechanism on the gate itself as well as a padlock. Some people may come to you and say, I'm concerned about getting out of my backyard if there was an event of a fire or something to that effect. Well, with crime prevention through environmental design, we want to protect that property, obviously. Right. So that would leave you the means of putting in a keyed lock or a combination lock, something to that effect. I'm a fan of combination locks. Something you can't lose something to other than the combination, but usually most people remember something to that effect.
Now, this is a pretty intense fence. Obviously, you said it's something for more of a commercial setting.
Correct.
And not something you're going to find in a residential setting.
Most likely not, yeah.
A fence doesn't have to be that large or that impregnable, really. It's about a psychological thing, right?
Exactly. They call it a line of determination. That both goes in SEPTED, the crime prevention through environmental design, as well as the criminal aspect of it. It's basically putting that line in the sand, if you will. Something as simple as a line in the sand. A 2 foot fence, a 4 foot fence, a 6 foot fence. It gives you that perception of this is my home, this is my business, this is where my property is.
So for homeowners, you don't need to go out and spend or think you need to spend a lot of money on a fence like this. You can go out there, and even if it's 2-3 foot tall, it's something that will help.
Exactly. It's definitely beginning to get into that SEPTED mindset. you're setting up your boundaries in a sense, and that's one of the big things we talk about in SEPTED with anything, with landscaping, with lighting, with entryways, blind corners. It's all about boundaries in a sense. So yes, most definitely, like you said, if it's a 2-foot fence, it's starting that whole mindset.
All right, now we've covered a lot of things today. Can you just review them briefly for us? Because it's probably a lot for people to remember all at once.
It is. SEPTED, I don't want to put it inside of a box, but some of the high points that we hit today, and I'm glad we had some time for this, was especially in residential, is your lighting. The curlicue lights that everybody talks about, are the CFL lights. Mm-hmm. They are such a low cost to run, to turn that front and back porch light on at night. Dusk to dawn lighting. Anything to that effect that emphasizes the boundaries of your home. It shows good visibility to and from your windows or your doorways. We talked about the landscape portion of that as well. You can put in that hostile vegetation next to your homes to, try to forego having somebody intrude in that effect, and you still have something nice to look at. Getting into securing the property with the boundaries, putting in the fencing, putting in the landscape or anything to that effect. It's just a mindset when you look at the front of your home, when you look at your garage, when you look at your business, you almost have to think, not in a criminal mind, but say, something just doesn't look right there. It's I can't see the window all the way. I can't see out. I can't see in, something to that effect. So it's a very simple thing, and I think that we made a great example of it today. We took a few minutes here and got everything kind of laid out for you, how we can do it for your business or your home.
All right. Well, hey, Bill, I really appreciate your time. Thank you so much.
Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
I'll talk to you. Stay with us. We'll be right back with Alan Duffy Samuels and Duffy's Hope.
And Dunaway was young, fit, and still at risk.
I was an active mom who every day ran, and so at 30 years old, they discovered that I had a atrial septal defect, which is extremely common. They decided to perform open heart. I started doing great, and then I suffered the first of 2 strokes. If you become aware of the signs and symptoms, you can prevent from anything else from occurring.
I'm Dr. Ed Goldenberg, co-chair of Million Hearts Delaware. Each year, more than 2,000 Delawareans die from heart attacks and strokes. Many of these casualties can be prevented when people know their numbers. Know your risk and provide the ABCs of prevention. Join us in our effort to prevent 1 million heart attacks and strokes. Visit millionheartsde.com and get connected now.
Welcome back. Joining us now is Alan Duffy Samuels, founder of Duffy's Hope, and Amani Green, a youth who went through the program. Welcome, both of you.
Thank you.
Thanks for joining us. So, Duffy, I got to ask you first of all, just because I'm curious, how did you get the name Duffy?
It's a long story. We don't have enough time to go through it right now, but actually, a short version, my grandmom named me off the TV show The Mob Squad.
Okay, and then you obviously put that name together with Duffy's Hope.
Yes.
So now, what does HOPE stand for?
HOPE stands for helping our young people to excel.
And what's the goal of this program?
The goal is to take inner city kids and take them out of situations, negative situations, and put them into positive situations. Focus on their education, life skill, decision making, job readiness, also college readiness, and then prevention from gangs and drugs and alcohol.
This program was founded in 1998.
Yes.
Correct. So, you were one of are you the main founder, or were you a co-founder?
I'm the main founder of the organization.
And how did you come up with an idea for this?
Well, when I was growing up, I was a troubled teen, and I had some people in the community come back and reach back into the community and look out for me, like Mr. Pritchett, Judge Farnan, Norman Oliver, Rashid Mustafa. So when I was away playing basketball, I thought about an opportunity to come back and mentor some kids back here in Wilmington. So every summer I came home, I talked to a couple of community leaders and told them what I was interested in doing, and they said, well, let's put a nonprofit together and so you can work and try to save some of these young people, because I started feeling it was a disconnect between the community and then the kids.
Mm-hmm. Now, it started out then as a summer program. Has it expanded to something year-round?
Yes, it's all year-round program now.
And how many kids each year are involved?
Well, with our ambassador program, which Imani is in, we work with 25 kids. That's our capacity, and we've been working with the same 25 for the last 4 years. And actually, we rotate maybe 2 or 3 out a year. Last year, we rotated 3 because 3 graduated. This year, we'll rotate 4. 4 is graduating out of our program.
And what's that age range? We say kids, but they're a little bit older than kids.
Teenagers, yeah, 12 to 17.
Okay, so a 12-year-old might join the program when they're 12 and then stay all the way
until they're 18.
And Imani, is that what happened with you?
I started the program when I was about 14. My freshman year, I had a lot of problems with handling situations. So my mom thought that joining Duffy's Hope, it would be a way to grow as a person. So when I was joining Duffy's Hope, I was really secluded and by myself all the time. But over the years, I started reaching out more and helping out with the community service programs and going on the field trips and growing and gaining a knowledge of what I want to do and knowing that I don't have to stay in Delaware. I can branch out and do more and help people like Mr. Duffy helped us.
So, Duffy, when you're looking for, or do parents come to you with their children, or do you have a set of criteria that you need that a family needs to reach in order to join this program?
Well, we do have a criteria, which, you have to come from a single-parent household. Kid has to be either fail in school, not going to school, truancy issues, or being raised by a grandparent. But a lot of times parents come to me with, crying out, saying their son or daughter are in trouble. They want to save their son and daughter. So what I try to do is, sit down, meet with the parent and the kid, and figure out how we can be a resource for them. If there's not our program, I may not be a resource and refer them to another organization that can help them.
Now, there must be some growth you see from the time a youth comes in at 12 to the time they graduate at 18. What's that like, seeing the change?
Well, you may make me cry now because I see it's amazing to see Imani came in at the age of 13.
Yeah.
And see her grow from a little girl to a young lady right now, and see where she was disrespectful to her mom, being defiant, and now being respectful and being one of the leaders of the organization. So I'm really happy about that. Then when you see kids who haven't been going to school, who had truancy issues, and then they graduate, like last year, the young lady was supposed to be here with us today that couldn't make it, Diamond. She's a freshman at the University of Delaware. But she went from not going to school, prostituting, to changing her life around and finishing last year at Brandywine High School in the top 10 in her class with a 3.65 grade point average and a 2010 on her SAT scores. And she got a full ride to the University of Delaware.
For her.
Yeah, so when you see things, hear stories like that, and you've been through every step of it, the way, it's, for me, I get a lot of accolades, but, I don't really care for them, but I really do. What I care for is the biggest award I get is when I see my kids go through the process and they change their life and they become a success story.
Imani, is someone like Diamond a person you look up to?
Yes, because when I came in, she was already almost out. But I was hearing the stories and how Mr. Duffy was you gotta work, and she was a prime example of what work can actually do.
Do you think you're a model for other youth?
I don't know. I don't really look at it like that. I just wanna be able to get myself together and help whoever needs help and just go.
So do you want to be?
What do I want to be?
No, do you want to be a mentor or someone who other younger children will look up to?
Yeah.
And she's being modest. She
Sure.
is. She's actually the younger kids look up to her, and she's the next leader. Like we were just talking, the torch would be passed to her because we have 4 graduating this year, so the torch would be passed to her to carry on the legacy that the other young lady and young man had done in the past.
So, as far as actual activities go, is this a weekly program? Is this a daily thing? How does it work?
We meet twice a week. Mondays is group sessions, and on Wednesdays tutoring.
So, okay, so it's twice a week. And then the other days, are you still seeing the other youths you're involved with? Or?
Some of us grew a closer bond. We're all a family, but some of us we're like closer than the others, but we all reach out to each other and make sure everyone's doing okay.
And they see me more than twice a week.
Yeah, because he pops up at our school. So if you're doing bad, he'll know.
Pop at the schools, and also I do home visits as well.
And you mentioned field trips.
Yeah, last summer we made it was like a shop kind of trip. Like he'll take us to the Baylor's, the female prison, and they'll take the men to whatever prison they were going to.
Smyrna.
Yeah, that was life altering because you don't want to go there. And he'll take but he'll also take us on like fun trips, like amusement parks and all that stuff.
Prisons one week, amusement parks the next.
Yeah. So what we do, I call it choices. So they go to the guys will go to Smyrna prison, and the girls will go to the women's prison, Baylor's, and they get an opportunity to spend the day there to see what the dorms are like, to see what the food's like, and just to see the whole environment. Then they talk to the inmates. Then when they get done, we get a recap. And then the following, in about 2 weeks, I take them to a college or university, and they get an opportunity to see the dorms there. So you make the choice on what dorms you want to be in. So for some kids, I think it's a life-changing, decision that, hey, I don't want to be in this prison where, they tell us when to go to the bathroom, when to go to sleep, when to wake up, when to eat. We can't talk when we're having lunch. So for most of the kids that went through to the program, to the choice program, it changed them. Their attitudes changed, their decision making got better because they don't want to go down that road. And you have some kids who just, it's not getting it right now, but we're still holding on to try to save them.
And have you noticed that the kids' interaction with the community change? How they view themselves in the community?
Yes. One of the things we talk about in our group sessions is that you got, like you was just asking Imani about being a role model almost. But, on her shirt, she's an ambassador. That's what is Duffy's Hope Ambassador. So they had to set examples, and they had to go back. What I'm teaching them now is to go back and work with their peers on how to act in the community, how to do certain things, in the community, because one of the things that we do, they have to do community service projects. And one of them is we go around and we clean up the community. So now when you're out with your buddies and you're out here throwing the trash down, you don't think twice because you got to come back and clean it up. So and they be like, oh no, don't throw that on the ground because we'll be out here Saturday picking it up. It
teaches us to hold everyone in the group accountable for their actions. So if you're messing up, you're like, come on, you got to do better. We're all working. It's not only Mr. Duffy mentoring us and guiding us, we're like learning to guide ourselves.
And you're an example for all the other kids.
I don't want to say that.
We're
all examples.
You sound like Charles Barkley. Come on.
Well, look, thank you both for joining us today. Excellent work. Congratulations. Keep up the hard work, Imani.
Thank you.
Duffy, thank you so much.
Thank you. And also, please support us. We have an upcoming fundraiser August the 2nd at the University of Delaware. It's our 12th annual celebrity basketball game where we bring a lot of celebrities in town. And they had an opportunity to meet with kids in the city, kids in Newcastle County, and we have a great time. And then we top it off with a celebrity basketball game.
All right. August 2nd, University of Delaware.
Yeah, check out our website.
All right. Check out their website, Duffy's Hope. Stick with us. We'll be right back with questions from the street.
All in together now. We can make it better now. Come on, can we do it?
Yeah, you know that we can.
We'll rope it up,
Cause we know how to jump.
we'll roll it out,
Cause we know how to skate.
we'll cut it down,
We know what to eat.
we'll swap it out.
We eat healthy stuff.
Can we do it?
Yeah, you know that we can.
Can we do it?
Yeah, you know that we can.
Yeah, well come on.
Today's a good day to grab your kids and hang out with them for an hour. Dance, walk, play a sport, or cook a healthy meal. Because just moving a little and eating better every day can help make you and your child healthier.
Can we do it?
Yeah, you know that we can.
We'll ball it up,
Cause we know how to hoop.
we'll mess around,
Cause we know how to play.
we'll drop it down,
Cause we know how to dance.
we'll veg it up,
Veggie night and day.
Can we do it?
Yeah, you know that we can.
All in together now. We can make it better now.
Search We Can to find doable tips and activities that you can use every day to keep you and your kids healthy.
Welcome back. Now it's time for questions from the street. We spoke with Tim. Let's see what his question is.
My name is Tim, and my question is, when the police pull you over, is it always for tickets?
Thanks for the question, Tim. Enforcing the traffic laws here in Delaware is one of the many jobs that we have as police officers. These include things like moving violations if you're speeding or not using your turn signals. It also includes things like equipment violations if you're not using your headlights or maybe if your taillight's out. If you're in violation of one of these things, you might get pulled over by the police. Just because you get pulled over doesn't mean you're going to get a ticket necessarily. It all depends on the individual circumstances of that traffic stop, your individual record, and your interaction with that police officer. I hope that answers your question. Each year, the police department works very hard to solve a number of crimes. Unfortunately, some of these crimes end up in what's called our cold case files. What exactly is a cold case? Cold cases are reported incidents of crime that were not solved during the initial investigation. These cases are typically fairly old, some having occurred as long as 20 years ago. Homicides are the most common types of cases worked by the cold case investigators, as there is no statute of limitations on when a person can be charged for committing this type of crime. The other most investigated type of crime is rape. This also has no statute of limitations. Over the past year, we've shown you a number of cold case investigations that need your help. If you or any of your friends know anything about any of these cases, please give our cold case unit a call at 576-3643. Before we go, I want to share a safety tip with you. As you may have heard, in the past month, residents throughout Newcastle County have been receiving phone calls from someone posing as a police officer. During the phone calls, the impersonator threatens the victim with arrest unless they pay money to the police department. You should know that at no time will a police officer ever call your house threatening you or soliciting you for money, donations, or anything like that. If someone does call pretending to be a police officer, please call the police. Call 911 and let us know. Do not, under any circumstances, ever give them money. That's our show for you. I hope you enjoyed it. Join us next time right here on Partners in Public Safety.